So, you think that your hometown is boring. There is no reason to hide it. It's an extremely common line of thought. But you are a photographer, so you want to photograph something interesting. So, what can you do? Well, look around you. Your town, city or village is a lot more interesting than you think. So we humans have the tendency of getting used to things. Whether it's the food we eat, to the things that we do, or more importantly to the point of this video, to the places that we live in. If we ate the same thing every day, we would stop caring how it tastes. Similarly, when we walk to the same places over and over again, we will stop caring about what's there. It's not like interesting things aren't there. We simply ignore them. Why? Because we see them all the time. But most of you probably already knew it, at least most of it. So what can we do with it? And how to see something interesting with our hometowns again? So the first thing is light. Literally the most important part of any photo. It alone can decide whether or not photo is bad, good or interesting. The subject can be the most random, boring thing ever, but in the right light, it can become a great photo. Take this photo for example. The subject isn't really that interesting, it's just some random branch, but the light made it more dramatic and interesting to look at. And I mean, this isn't one and done thing. Look at all of these photos. They all use light to make the subject appear more interesting. You also don't need harsh or natural light to use that. This photo is a good example of that. It's just a bucket on a bench, but the soft light shining on it makes it appear more interesting. Why? Because it gives the viewer the idea where to look. And when it comes to artificial lighting, I won't talk much about it since the rules are basically the same. But using street lights, strobe lights or even a flash might make a photo more interesting. Okay, but what kind of light am I supposed to look for, you might ask? Well, there are many things to look for, but looking for splashes of light that illuminate a certain place or a thing may be a good start. Here you can look either for high contrast scenes like this, or for subtle highlighting like in the bucket photo. You can also look for shadows that things make, but when you do that, don't just shoot from the eye level. I mean, you can, but there are also other elevation levels. What? So, we humans have a tendency to ignore things that are higher or lower than us. Mostly higher things, but we aren't paying that much attention to the things that are on the ground either. But if you look up or down, you might find something interesting. It might be a lamp, a nicely placed branch, or some leaves on the ground. Whatever it might be, it's still a potential subject, and on account of going lower, I must talk about. So, if your town is boring, why photograph it? Why not go into details? Stuff like macro or close-up photography is great if you live in a boring place. Don't just focus on the whole scene. Go tighter and closer, focus on details. Instead of photographing a street sign, photograph how its shadow looks close up. Look for water droplets on plants, look for bats, look for spider webs. The point is, there are a lot of things to photograph when you get closer. And you don't even need macro lenses for that. I use these €20 macro filters, and they work fine for just walking around. And often you don't even need that. Most of these shots were captured with just a normal lens without filters. So go closer and look how interesting the world is when you look for smaller details. Another thing that I want to talk about is finding some color. Here we have to go from black and white and focus on finding some color. So like for example, an orange leaf on a bluish ground, red seeds in an extremely green place and stuff like that. You should look for things that pop out even a little. Even better if two colors are opposite on the color wheel. And it doesn't even need to be a big thing. I mean, the only reason why I took this photo was because I saw that yellow leaves were standing out from the green. Photograph things if they stand out in color. It doesn't matter if they're leaves, chairs or cars. Look for these things and a lot of possibilities open up. Well, all the aforementioned things could be a video on their own, but I will also give some tips what to photograph when you really have no ideas. So the first thing is photographing the whole alphabet. And I don't mean just the things that start out with the same letter, but the letters themselves. It will not only help you with looking for subjects in the future, but it's also a fun challenge that you can do basically anywhere. Another thing is similar, and it's a challenge to photograph random colored things every day. And the way it works is also pretty simple. You go to any site that randomly chooses colors, and you photograph things that are the chosen color. Both are simple things that you can do anywhere, so try them, it will be fun. So this is kinda all I wanted to say today, so consider subscribing and liking the video, and see you in another video. Bye!